The final person on the NHL side for player category is Alexander Mogilny, and there was a cheer that went up throughout the hockey world when it was learned that Alexander Mogilny got his due.
About time. It was about time.
So why did it take so long? Let's start there.
I don't know. I first of all, again, this is going to be we're going to use this excuse. We don't know how many times he was nominated. There is a specific nomination process that has to happen. So for all these years that Mogilny has been eligible, but he's not necessarily been nominated. The other aspect is that there may have been years where there's a real strength and strong feeling that there are other players more worthy of going in the hall those years. But when you look at what Alexander Mogilny was from an early age, that World Junior Hockey Championship in Anchorage, Alaska, where his line mates were Sergei Fedorov and Pavel Bure, came to the National Hockey League, and how he got to the NHL by escaping communism and playing for the Buffalo Sabres, 76 goals for the Buffalo Sabres. And then he morphed his game, Darren. He changed his game into one of being one of the best two-way forwards ever to play in the National Hockey League. Marian Hossa style, two-way player. Joe Nieuwendyk, two-way player. Alexander Mogilny was cut out of that same cloth. And the moment that a guy like Nieuwendyk got in the Hall, I was crying for the fact that Alexander Mogilny deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Stanley Cup champion. We always talk about personalities of people. Alex Mogilny never really thought that, dealing with the media was a big part. He loved intelligent questions, but he didn't ever try to avoid. If you thought it was a stupid question, he would tell you it was a stupid question. So maybe there is something that said that he didn't have the persona, the public persona that others did in order to get to the Hall of Fame. But certainly from a perspective of ability and talent and on-ice success, Alexander Mogilny deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I will tell you, just as an aside, I was one of the 65 or 70 people that got devoted in the 100 greatest players of all time in NHL Centennial year. And Alexander Mogilny was not originally on the ballot. And it was a terrible oversight at the time.
Wasn't on the ballot?
No, he was not on the ballot. I had to do him as a write-in on the ballot.
Oh,
and to me, that I think give you the sense of how people viewed Mogilny, and I think that was rather unfair. This is long overdue for Alexander Mogilny to be in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
76 goals in a single season.
Yeah.
And he kind of got overshadowed that year a little bit because it was the same year as Solani's rookie season.
Yeah, but Elmo was a great player, and perhaps when you think about it, only in his last, he played in Buffalo, not a big media market. He played for the Devils, not a big media market. So perhaps he didn't get the acclaim that he deserved because he wasn't playing for one of the big teams. He did finally, I think, in signing in Toronto and playing in Toronto, got a lot of people saying, wow, what a complete player Alexander Mogilny is and what a difference it would make.
For Alexander Mogilny, for just historical references, the first player to ever defect from the Soviet Union for the purpose of playing in the National Hockey League. Like, it was historic what he did after that World Junior Championship.
But here's a guy, there's that triple gold club, right?
Yeah.
You win a world championship, you win an Olympic gold, you win the Stanley Cup. That's a very, very exclusive group. And Mogilny's Mogilny's a member of that. He was on that '88 team that we did the Olympics in Calgary, and really was the last team representing the Soviet Union at the Olympic Winter Games. And they were a dominant team. They might have been the best professional team I saw play that year, and that was a year the Oilers won the Stanley Cup. They were so good. But at the same time, he never really got the recognition he deserved, and I'm glad finally that he's going to get that recognition.